Episode 56 SN, March 30th, 2024. Haiti's barbecue burns tires in the street so that people will flee, seeking clean air to breathe. Haiti's barbecue burns tires in the street so that people will flee, seeking clean air to breathe. A car mechanic on the scene in Haiti was quoted as saying, "This is not life. The young people that have a profession cannot live here. This country is unlivable. Everything has been burned down. We are living in such a bad time." In episode 56 SN 11, near neighbor-centric perspectives on indoor residential wood burning. 1. Heat pumps are now affordable and provide a clean alternative to wood burning for indoor residential home heating. 2. Wood can be composted into usable soil that is not flammable. 3. Wood burning causes toasted skin syndrome and is not cozy. 4. Local ordinances, state laws, or federal laws could be passed to allow a complaint-based system using purple air PM 2.5 monitors handed out to any near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner whose wood smoke enters the yard of a near neighbor and sickens them. 5. The purple air data can be downloaded by any member of the public. If the level of PM 2.5 in the air of the yard of the near neighbor exceeds national ambient air quality standards set by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA NOx, the ordinance or law should read that then health authorities should shut down each indoor residential wood burner by wood burner if necessary. 6. Comparison with the June 2023 wildfire wood smoke. 7. Exercising outdoors in PM 2.5 is hazardous to your health. 9. Wood smoke in your eyes and lungs. 10. The carbon neutrality of wood burning is an unscientific lie used to allow nations to meet their climate goals by not counting wood burning emissions as pollution. 11. Near neighbors of indoor wood burners are canaries in a coal mine. 2. Earth Justice represents the Sierra Club, Northeast Ohio Black Health Coalition, the Rio Grande International Study Center, and NRDC, Natural Resources Defense Council. Clean Air Task Force represents Citizens for Pennsylvania's Future, PEN Future, and Conservation Law Foundation in fighting conservative attempts to erase the new 9 micrometer per cubic meter safe PM 2.5 limit. 3 to 21, headlines. Beginning the episode with 1.1 through 1.11. Haiti's barbecue burns tires in the street so that people will flee, seeking clean air to breathe. Why do you choose to burn wood indoors residentially, instead of heating your home with clean alternatives? What do former indoor residential wood burners demand in a home heating device, as a consumer? Haiti's barbecue is a mysterious entity, but he is now seeking talks to fulfill his demands. https://www.bbc.com/news/world-latin-america-68697-406 barbecue's equivalent in the United States. An indoor residential wood burner may also possibly seek peace talks to fulfill his demands for home heating. In the United States, a developed, modern country, what demands could an indoor residential wood burner possibly make to fulfill his demands for home heating? Let's compare barbecue with the United States indoor residential wood burner. 1A. At the bargaining table, barbecue may say that he is indigent. Barbecue may demand that the goods of the rich be evenly distributed among the poor, marking him in the annals of history as a benevolent dictator. Done and done. 1B. The United States equivalent of barbecue may demand that he be financially compensated for stopping his indoor residential wood burning, because he is indigent. Voila. Someone at the negotiating table can point out that there are already cheaper ways to heat the home than wood burning. 1B1. The Federal Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP, to help with monthly utility payments, and possibly with cost of new clean home heating appliances. 1B2. Natural gas furnaces, or delivered propane to name only a few alternatives that are cheaper and far less polluting than wood burning, used as bridges to the truly clean home heating alternative, heat pumps. 1B3. Heat pumps rebates up to $8,000 based on a sliding income scale that will be offered by most United States by September 2024, which run on electricity, which electrical grid has been available to United States residents for at least the last 75 years. Heat pumps will instantly save you money on your monthly heating bills if you now use natural gas or propane for home heating. 2A. Barbecue may say that burning tires is done because tires are just there. After a car accident, that, just happens a lot these days, and barbecue is just using tires immediately instead of patching them up and reusing them. 2B. The United States equivalent of barbecue may say that he is burning wood because trees fall, or you cut them down to enjoy the view, and they can be easily burned on your own property, just as barbecue burns tires on his own property, the streets of Haiti. Voila, a solution. As the international delegation of French peacemakers might say, a second solution for the equivalent of the people of Haiti living next to barbecue, whose only rational solution is fleeing, another solution for the near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners to win a right to clean air, free of pollution. Wood gathered on one's property can be taken to a recycling center to be composted into usable soil with the aid of catalysts like fertilizer, soil that is not flammable. 3A. Barbecue may say that a tire fire is cozy and points to the advertising that says this is true. Barbecue did not get where he is without mastering the big lie, said with a straight face. 3B. The United States equivalent of barbecue may say that wood burning is cozy and point to the advertising that says this is true. Toasting one side of the body, causing toasted skin syndrome and freezing on the backside of the body, before a wood fire, is in actuality excruciatingly uncomfortable compared to clean energy solutions for home heating. The indoor residential wood burner may actually believe that a wood fire is cozy, having been deprived of clean energy and clean air throughout his life, by decree of a traditional dynasty of wood burners. Voila, a solution, ending the misery for the wood burner and the wood burners near neighbors. After switching to clean alternatives for home heating, the indoor residential burner may be surprised to feel healthier and more energetic, and may take up new hobbies after the hobgoblin of wood burning is taken off his poor shoulders, wizened by long periods of inactivity sitting, breathing and toxins. For A, barbecue may not sit down for peace talks. For B, local ordinances, state laws, or federal laws could be passed to allow a complaint-based system using purple air PM 2.5 monitors handed out to any near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner whose wood smoke enters the yard of a near neighbor and sickens them. 5. The purple air data can be downloaded by any member of the public. If the level of PM 2.5 in the air of the yard of the near neighbor exceeds national ambient air quality standards set by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA NOx, The ordinance, or law should read that then health authorities should shut down each indoor residential wood burner by wood burner if necessary. This is because wood smoke is usually only detected hyperlocally, such as when a purple air PM 2.5 monitor is hung from the eaves of a near neighbor's house. 6. Comparison with the June 2023 wildfire wood smoke. Incursion into the United States. Sometimes the amount of wood smoke detected is so large that it travels hundreds of miles, as it did during the Canadian wildfire incursions into the United States in June 2023. 7. Exercising outdoors in PM 2.5 is hazardous to your health. In June 2023, health authorities told people to stay inside their sealed homes and use multiple air purifiers to clean the air. Near neighbors live their lives this way already, because exercising outdoors while breathing wood smoke negates the health effects of exercise, and instead drives the PM 2.5 farther and faster into the lungs. 8. PM 2.5 from wood smoke drops solar panel efficiency in half. Near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners can also expect any solar panels they put up to operate at only 50% efficiency. This was demonstrated in June 2023, when a statewide solar panel network reported that during the wildfire incursion into New York State, energy generated by their network dropped to 50% efficiency. 9. Wood smoke in your eyes and lungs. Wood smoke can cause cataracts. Wood smoke is 90% PM 2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Wood burning emits 2.8 times the CO2 and PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. 10. The carbon neutrality of wood burning is an unscientific lie used to allow nations to meet their climate goals by not counting wood burning emissions as pollution. The scientifically debunked theory of carbon neutrality of wood burning, denounced by hundreds of scientists in letters to the United States Congress and to the European Parliament in the last 5 years, is used by politicians to justify replacing the fossil fuel coal burning with the more polluting wood burning and ignoring the emissions, actually not counting the emissions of wood burning in order to meet their climate goals. That phony accounting can and is done by every country in the world when putting down on paper how they are meeting their climate goals, but very paradoxically increasing the pollution the country generates. 11. Near neighbors of indoor wood burners are canaries in a coal mine. In 1985, canaries were replaced by mechanical CO2 detectors in English mines, so that canaries dropping from their perches and dying no longer had to be used to detect air pollution. There are numerous scientific, medical, and statistical studies, some at the end of this episode, that show the adverse health effects of wood burning. Wood burning rather than using clean energy for home heating hastens climate change and most importantly for near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners, who act as canaries in a coal mine, for the rest of us, causes human health problems including cancer and asthma, and causes early deaths. 2. ROSEP View. Earth Justice represents the Sierra Club, Northeast Ohio Black Health Coalition, the Rio Grande International Study Center, and NRDC, Natural Resources Defense Council. Clean Air Task Force represents Citizens for Pennsylvania's Future, PennFuture, and Conservation Law Foundation, CLF, in support of the EPA updating annual standards for PM 2.5 to 9 micrograms per cubic meter. Because polluters rush to court to block this life-saving action, communities fight back against industry attacks on new air quality standards. Earth Justice. Fine particulate matter, also known as soot or PM 2.5, is emitted by fuel combustion and industrial processes. Soot is made up of tiny particles. Yesterday, health, environmental, and community organizations, represented by Earth Justice and Clean Air Task Force, filed to intervene in support of the Environmental Protection Agency's, EPA, recent strengthening of an air standard for fine particulate matter pollution, finalized in February. March 28, 2024. Excerpts edited by ROSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Communities fight back against industry attacks on new air quality standards. EPA's updated soot standards. Under threat from legal challenges, potentially undermining air quality improvements for years to come.
Contact Erin Fitzgerald, effitzgerald@irjustice.org Washington, D.C.
Yesterday, health, environmental, and community organizations, represented by Earth Justice and Clean Air Task Force, filed to intervene in support of the Environmental Protection Agency's, EPA, recent strengthening of an air standard for fine particulate matter pollution, finalized in February. This landmark standard is designed to protect public health and would address environmental injustices, but is being challenged in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit by major trade associations in 25 states. Fine particulate matter, also known as soot or PM 2.5, is emitted by fuel combustion and industrial processes. Soot is made up of tiny particles that can penetrate the lungs and bloodstream. Under the Clean Air Act, the EPA has for decades set baseline national air quality standards for 6 harmful pollutants, including soot. In February, the EPA made a crucial move to save lives and tackle air quality injustices for communities of color and low-income groups, said Earth Justice attorney Seth Johnson. Now, diverse health, environmental, and community organizations are stepping up to defend public health and justice in court. With robust scientific backing, we're ready to show how the Clean Air Act saves lives and protects communities. Soot pollution poses severe health risks and disproportionately affects communities of color and low-income communities. The harmful effects of soot pollution include cardiovascular problems, respiratory issues, neurological harms, and lung cancer. According to EPA, the strengthened standards will result in significant public health net benefits that could be as high as $46 billion by 2032. Yet at their very first opportunity, major trade associations, including the National Association of Manufacturers and the American Petroleum Institute, in 25 states led by Kentucky, West Virginia, and Texas, challenged the improved air quality standards. Just this week, 2 members of Arizona's legislature and yet another trade association filed a similar challenge. Relying on tired and disproven talking points, their legal arguments cited cost and other concerns when they opposed the EPA's proposal to improve health protections. 4 maps showing soot and smog pollution in the United States. Click here. The executive director, Northeast Ohio Black Health Coalition, said, fine particulate air pollution threatened the health of South Texas families, underscoring the critical importance of EPA's soot standard. We will defend this rule, advocating for clean air, said the executive director, Rio Grande International Study Center. The ongoing attacks on vital environmental regulations by industry and states pose a grave threat to our planet and public health. This rule is a crucial milestone in our fight for clean air, particularly for communities harmed by preventable soot pollution. We will champion these protections, safeguarding public health and preserving our environment for future generations, said the Director of Climate Policy, Sierra Club. The Penn Futures Vice President of Legal and Policy said, this more stringent standard for particulate matter will lead to improved air quality and health for millions of Pennsylvanians who simply cannot afford any delay. Standing by while polluters continue to suffocate our loved ones with toxic particles is unacceptable, which is why the EPA's move to clean up air quality was so important, said the Vice President of CLF Connecticut. We are ready to show up and fight for our health in court, because we'll never compromise when it comes to the safety of our neighbors, communities, and the low-income and black and brown families that continue to shoulder the worst of these toxins. Deadly fine particulate, PM 2.5, pollution, also known as soot, comes from tailpipes, smokestacks, and industrial power plants. Breathing soot can cause premature death, heart disease, and lung damage. 3. North, Central and South America, the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, PM 2.5 in health. SDG 3.9 related deaths under SDG 3.9 requires better air pollution control and healthcare. Nature PM 2.5 pollution, particulate matter smaller than 2.5 micrometers in diameter suspended in the air, is one of the largest environmental risk factors for. Target 3.9. Reduce the amount of deaths produced by dangerous chemicals and the pollution of the air, water, and soil. Many of the 2030 Agenda's principles are well aligned with the Pan American Health Organization's, PAHO, priorities and actions, which have been advanced by highlighting equity in PAHO's Strategic Plan 2014 to 2019 and mainstreaming the cross-cutting themes of gender, ethnicity, human rights, and equity across all of PAHO's activities. To this end, PAHO has made great efforts to guide the region in the implementation of SDGs, particularly SDG 3. Complementing the synergy between PAHO's existing commitments and those presented by 2030 Agenda, PAHO has taken a series of concrete steps to actively participate in this new cycle of global commitment to sustainable development, making it relevant for countries as they develop their own plans. 4. Greenland. Open waste burning linked to air pollution in northwestern Greenland. Eureka alert. During the summer of 2022, the team conducted the first-time measurement of particulate matter, PM 2.5, in the ambient air there and identified an 5. Ohio, Canton. Nuclear power for energy generation supported by bribes. Letter to the editor. HB 120 would reinstate better energy standards. Canton repository. These coal-powered plants release a dangerous pollutant called particulate matter 2.5, or PM 2.5, which according to a recent Harvard study. Letter to the editor. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Passage of HB 120 would reinstate better energy standards.
Canton Repository.
With all the buzz around the upcoming election, we are not paying enough attention to what's happening in our state. Ohio House Bill 6 was one of the largest scandals in Ohio history, and we all took a major blow when it was put into effect. But even as the corruption was revealed, a full repeal of the bill was never put into place. We are still paying, literally, for the passing of this bill. It has been 4 years since it was discovered that $60 million of bribes were used to put this bill into effect. Yet every month, Ohioans still have to pay a subsidy on their power bill for 2 coal-fired power plants, one of which isn't even located in Ohio. From the internet. What is the Ohio HB 6 scandal? Speaker Larry Householder and several associates were allegedly paid tens of millions of dollars to pass HB 6 and to prevent a referendum against the law from coming before Ohio voters. https://www.ohiohouse.gov/housea-pp/members/michael-j-skindle/news/house-bill-6-1035999. On July 29, 2020, Columbus, Ohio House Democrats today introduced House Bill, HB 738, legislation to repeal HB 6, a controversial corporate bailout legislation at the center of an FBI investigation into an alleged $60 million public corruption scheme led by Republican Speaker Larry Householder, R. Glenford, the largest corruption and money laundering scheme ever in Ohio. Democrats began calling for Householder's resignation as news broke last week. The Democratic legislation would repeal HB 6, a $1 billion bailout for Ohio's 2 nuclear power plants, which was signed into law in July 2019. Speaker Larry Householder and several associates were allegedly paid tens of millions of dollars to pass HB 6 and to prevent a referendum against the law from coming before Ohio voters. Householder was arrested last week for his role in the alleged racketeering scheme. The FBI investigation into the situation is ongoing. Corruption has no place in our government, regardless of political party. When corruption is revealed, it is important we act quickly to fix what has been broken, said Representative Michael J. Skindle, D. Lakewood, one of the bill's joint sponsors. With deeply gerrymandered districts, Republican politicians feel invincible and are more beholden to special interest groups and corporations than they are to their own constituents. HB 6 was the manifestation of this alleged corruption. House Bill 6, whether good policy or not, was founded on and funded by a scheme to defraud taxpayers and circumvent the will of the people of our state. It should be repealed, said Representative Michael O'Brien, D. Warren, the repeal bill's other Democratic joint sponsor. Recent events have been a black eye for our institution, and our legislation is the first step toward repairing the damage to the public trust caused by Republican leaders in the Ohio House. Several House Democrats had initially also signed on, in good faith, to the Republican version of the HB 6 repeal, but many have since removed their names as co-sponsors following an email sent to the entire House July 23 from Representative Bill Seitz, R. Cincinnati, discouraging members to support such a measure. House Democrats are willing to work with the GOP caucus on a HB 6 repeal, but are currently concerned with the chaos and inconsistencies among the Republican members on this issue. 6 through 25, headlines. 6. World. Only 7 countries in the world had healthy air quality in 2023, Geographical PM 2.5 stands for particulate matter with the 2.5 representing the size of that matter, which. 7. Alabama, Mobile. In Cloak Court residential fire, city of Mobile upon arrival, smoke and flames were visible from a 2-story, wood frame home. Firefighting efforts were able to bring the fire under control quickly. 8. Arizona. Challenge 9 micrograms per cubic meter PM 2.5 annual standard, as hurting the economy and individual businesses. Arizona Chamber of Commerce and GOP leaders challenge EPA's PM 2.5 standard in court lexology. PM 2.5 refers to particulate matter that is 2.5 micrometers or smaller in diameter, which can penetrate deep into the lungs and pose serious. 9. California, Los Angeles. What's so green about burning trees? The false promise of biomass energy. City Watch Los Angeles. Woody biomass is essentially firewood. Wood pellets can be made from any type of wood. In the past, they were mainly composed of low-value wood, tin, Colorado, Boulder. Smoke possibly visible today as fire crews burn wood piles at Hall Ranch. Boulder daily camera fire crews will be burning wood piles at Hall Ranch open space today, March 28. Smoke and flames may be visible. The area will be continuously. Colorado Springs. Fire on Fort Carson burns more than 100 acres, 20% contained Thursday afternoon. KKTV smoke impacts to a minimum. For additional information regarding how to protect your health from wood smoke, please refer to the Colorado. Fire on Fort Carson prompts evacs and closes Highway 115. KKTV smoke impacts to A. Prescribed burns planned at Fort Carson and Pinyon Canyon Maneuver Site Military Colorado Springs Gazette. Smoke from prescribed fire on Fort. More information about the health effects of smoke can be found at www.colorado.gov/cdphe/wood-smoke-and-health. Fort Carson to conduct prescribed burns this week until April 15th. KOA for extra information about how to protect your health from wood smoke. Please visit the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment website. Colorado Springs. Preparations begin for prescribed fires in Pike, San Isabel National Forests, and Cimarron. KRDO prescribed fire smoke may affect your health. For more information, please go to https://cdphe. Colorado.gov/wood-smoke-and-your-health. Colorado, Longmont. Smoke possibly visible today as fire crews burn wood piles at Hall Ranch. Longmont Times call the public is asked to not call 911 since a prescribed burn is not an emergency. Fire crews will be burning wood piles at Hall Ranch open space today. 11. Georgia, Decatur. Wood-burning stove sets Decatur home ablaze. YouTube Decatur firefighters responded to a house fire Wednesday afternoon that started from a wood-burning stove. Wood-burning stove sets Decatur home ablaze. WCI.com. Decatur, Illinois, WCIA. Decatur firefighters responded to a house fire Wednesday afternoon that started from a wood-burning stove. Around 4:37 p.m., the Decatur Fire Department arrived on scene at 515 Galt Street, where they saw significant fire and smoke at. Crews called out for Decatur house fire. Top stories 1 TV'd. They found significant smoke and fire coming from the back of the home. The occupant said he thought the fire started behind a wood-burning stove he was using. The fire department said an investigation confirmed that. 12. Illinois, Rochelle. Ashton fire of 1889. The Rochelle news leader Chadwick, as postmaster for the village, had opened the doors and banked the fire in the wood-burning stove to take the chill out of the building. 13. South Dakota, Black Hills. Pile burning season in the Black Hills ends Sunday. KEV and Geo Resource failed to. Pile burning season in the Black Hills ends Sunday. Coda the season to burn wood. 14. Texas, Houston. Republicans against PM 2.5 limit at 9 micrograms per cubic meter annually. Democrats want to make it harder to heat your house. News Radio 740 KTRH. The green activists in the Biden administration are pushing heat pumps as a substitute for gas and wood-burning heating systems. Author, farmer. 15. Virginia, Charlottesville. Fire restrictions back in place in National Park. CBS 19 News, that fire burned under these new fire restrictions. All open fires are prohibited, including any type of wood fire, charcoal fires, wood-burning camp.
16. Washington, D.C.
Shenandoah National Park reopens trails and lifts park-wide fire ban. Wusa 9. The ban prohibited all open-air fires, including wood fire, charcoal fire, wood-burning camp stoves, charcoal grills, gas and propane cooking stoves. 17. Canada, Alberta. High-level forest area update. March 28, 2024. The Alberta Wildfire Blog. Government of Alberta. Any burning without a valid fire permit, other than a campfire, is prohibited. Allowed. Safe wood campfires *. Backyard fire pits. Portable propane. 18. China. PM 2.5 and household consumption of fuel. Direct and indirect consumption activities. Dr. Eureka alert. Household consumption in China is associated with substantial PM 2.5 pollution through activities directly, i.e., fuel use, and/or indirectly. Direct and indirect consumption activities drive urban-rural inequalities in air pollution. Phys.org. 19. India, Delhi. Mobile lab to find hyper-local causes of bad air in capital Delhi. News. Times of India. PM 2.5 drops, but city remains top 50 polluted. Residents call for sustainable air quality improvements via strict pollution control and norm. India, Guwahati. When Guwahati was projected as severely polluted, Pradhan in Time. Speaking to this writer, PCBA Chairman Arup K.R. Mishra clarified that the amount of PM 2.5 is a key indicator of air quality, where PM stands for. India, Kashmir. Biomass energy. What's so green about burning trees? Daily. Good morning. Kashmir, a major subtype of bioenergy. Woody biomass consists of small wood pellets produced from raw wood materials, including whole trees, branches, and wood. South Korea, Seoul. Temporal trend of microenvironmental time activity patterns of the Seoul population from nature. Particulate matter, i.e., particles less than 2.5 micrometers aerodynamic diameter, PM 2.5, for the estimation of population exposures to PM 2.5 to 20. Thailand, Bangkok. Dr. Hygiene partners with government to tackle PM 2.5 crisis. Bangkok posts the PM 2.5 air pollution crisis in the northern region, persistently escalating since 2018, has now reached levels significantly exceeding.
Thaïlande, Chiang Mai.
Hotel occupancy plummets as air pollution chokes Chiang Mai, Thailand. MSN PM 2.5 air pollution. which has led to the once bustling city becoming one of the worst in the world, regularly ranking below Delhi, Calcutta. 21. PM2.5 and human health. PM2.5 and air quality sensors. Next generation air quality sensor set to revolutionize the identification of top priority envirotech online. PM1, PM2.5, and PM10 measurements, as well as a unique calibration system and algorithms that facilitate superb levels of detection accuracy. PM2.5 and biomass not green. What's so green about burning trees? The false promise of biomass energy countercurrents. This broken system harms public health, the environment, and the climate. Wood pellets. Renewable energy comes from matter that nature produces. PM2.5 and dementia. Study links air pollution to increased dementia risk in U.S. residents. SciPost. The findings were published in JAMA Internal Medicine. PM2.5 particles, or fine particulate matter, are microscopic airborne particles measuring 2.5 micrometers. PM2.5 and depression. Long-term exposure to residential greenness and decreased risk of depression and anxiety. Nature. Air pollution, particulate matter with an aerodynamic diameter of 2.5 micrometers or less, PM2.5, NO2, NOx, SO2 and O3, played a major mediator role in the PM2.5 and global health. Global health impacts of ambient fine particulate pollution associated with climate variability. ScienceDirect.com. We first assessed the global trends of fine particulate matter, PM2.5, during 1980 to 2020 using monthly global PM2.5 reanalysis and evaluated their PM2.5 and open waste burning. Increased PM2.5 due to open waste burning. Image, Eureka alert. Caption, visible smoke from open waste burning in Konanak on August 8, 2022, and days of continuously increased PM2.5 from that day onwards. PM2.5 and alteration of pulmonary gene. Repeated exposure to eucalyptus wood smoke alters pulmonary gene and metabolic. Oxford Academic. Oxford University Press. We hypothesized that wood smoke exposure produces pulmonary dysfunction, lung inflammation, and gene expression profiles associated with future PM2.5 and sex hormones. Acute effects of exposure to fine particulate matter and its constituents on sex hormone. China CDC Weekly. The study presented the initial epidemiological evidence that brief exposure to PM2.5 can elevate estradiol levels in postmenopausal women.